Okay, we're learning Chusser for Shalema for Moshe Aaron ben Leah Bela. Again, this is a family member of a close family member to Lenny Press. Dr. Press is unfortunately he was in Gaza. He lost both legs and an arm. Yeah, so he's a 20-year-old boy. 20-year-old boy. So again, you sure we have him in Kavanas and our tefillas. Moshe Aaron, easy name to remember. Leah Bela. Moshe Aaron ben Leah Bela. The Chus of Torah, Kadosh Baruch Hu should go ahead and be matzal him. Okay, we're up to the Mishnah Daf Chaf, the last Mishnah in the Perek. We've been discussing finding different shtaros. What's the halacha? We're going to discuss finding other shtaros today. We're going to discuss finding other. There's the Mishnah. Matzah igaris shum v'igaris mazan. Rashi igaris shum she samay bezdin nichse loiva lemalva. The bezdin they went ahead and they evaluated the nechasim of the loiva for the malva b'chayvay. In other words, what he can collect from to collect this chayv. So according to Rashi, it's a shtar that states, what the evaluation is. V'igaris mazan she kibel lav lozin es bas ishtay. He was makabel himself to go ahead and support his stepdaughter, his daughter of his wife. So these are called these things. If you find them, right, then you don't have to return them. You don't have to return them if you find them. Now the question is, why doesn't it say shtar? Why does it say shtar? Igeris is like a letter, right? Igeris purim, right? It's a gerah. It's a funny lashon, right? So it's very appropriate. So take a look. I sent out a Taisvis today, guys, on your phones. I sent out on your phones a Taisvis. We got it? Taisus. This is Taisus is in Ksubis, Daf Kufam Beis. We have it, guys? Okay. Igeris Bikairis. Hadid Nam Parakamid above Metzia. Igeris Shum, Igeris Mazain. Ruggle Rabbeinu Tam Laima. Rabbeinu Tam asked to say, Midaloi Ka'amar. When it doesn't say, Shtari Shum, Shtari Mazain, documents of evaluation, documents of Mazain. Kida Ami Shtari Chalitza Umiuna. Shtari Birurin, which follows afterwards in the Mishnah. Neruloi, it appeared to Rabbeinu Tam, the Kari Igeres, Mashe Bezdin Shebamokim Zeh, Sholchin Igroisav Lebezdin Acher, Loshim Velozin Leploini. In other words, it's not a shtar that an evaluation was made like Rashi. It's not a shtar that you're going to support this stepdaughter. It's a letter that was sent from one bezdin to the other saying, go ahead and evaluate. In other words, it itself wasn't a document. It was a letter. One bezdin saying to the next, go ahead and evaluate X Plini's nechasim. Go ahead and evaluate the halacha of Muslim for the stepdaughter. Okay, so that's I thought it's an interesting places to say, yeah, yeah. So it's not places to explain the lashon of igaros rather than what than shtar. It's because it's a good kasha. Like why would you think it's not a shtar? Okay.
Not doing things for me.
You have to. That's the problem. It's with your phone. I'm definitely sending them out. People are getting it. Other people, you had it on your phones.
Did you get the message?
You're on the chat. I mean, I sent it out. You definitely got it. I mean, I sent it. It says on my phone it was sent. Okay. Okay. Maybe leave and rejoin. We won't let you back. Just leave. Yeah, you've been in share long enough. What that means? Don't let the door hit you on the way out. But you don't have it. Yehuda doesn't know. I am.
I don't know if we can tell you.
I am. Again, you didn't get. There's something.
Did you go off and go back on?
No. Okay, we'll have to figure it out. Anyway. Okay. Shtari chalitza. You have a shtar that chalitza was performed. Now she's permitted to get married to the street. Umi unun. A shtar mian, guys, mian what? What's a girl loses the father, brother, or if you don't know what mian is, there you go. You have either a brother or a mother marry off kedusha d'Rabbanan. When she becomes of age, she does not require a get, but she has to refuse the marriage, and it's written up. Ushtari birurin, the Gemara will explain. All of these you return. Let's see Rashi, guys. How you say Yachsa, first white line. The Lekal Mechesh L'Shem Nimlach. Again, what's our concerns previous Mishnayos, guys? Either there was never the halva never took place, or the payment took place, right? And therefore you want to use it again. So those are the two concerns. So over here, neither one exists. Why? Why not? Maybe it was, and then maybe they regretted. The Bezdin like custom Ela Bedavim Mekuyim. Bezdin's not writing a shtar, only something that's a fait to complete. It was done. Bezdin's writing shtar miyan after the miyan's done. Bezdin's writing shtar chalitza after chalitza is done. Bezdin's writing a shtar shum after the loan was defaulted on. In other words, you're always writing it right where it takes place. So therefore, there's no shaila of nimlach that they regretted. And Paroyan also, there's no concern. The Bahani Shtaris, they shaykh with Paroyan. All these Shtaris, there's no shy, it doesn't, they have no the possibility of payment. Right? Okay. Anyway, we had Shumahadar. Anyway, so back in the Gemara. So all these cases, there's nothing to worry about. Zicha, the Bezdin is not signing unless it's a Davam Makuyim, and therefore it's done. And in addition, in Bezdin is no Shash of Paroyan, so you return it. Matzah b'chapisa. Now we're speaking about a shtar. That's a shtar halva. And if you did find it, you wouldn't return it. In other words, they're speaking about a shtar that without extenuating circumstances, you would not return it. What are the extenuating circumstances? Matzah b'chapisa. You find it, well, we'll see what a chapisa is. Oy b'deluskama, we'll see what that is. These are different places where, and you have a siman in them. So this is the segue into the next parak, fellas. So since you have a siman in the chapisa, which is something with skin bag, we'll see a deluskama, all these things, you have a siman, therefore you return it because of the siman. Tachris shel shtaris or yaguda shel shtaris, a bundle of shtaris or a bundle of shtaris. How you say yaksa, we'll see the difference in the Gemara. The kama aguda, how much is in a bundle? Shel shtaris shloisha. Kishurim zeh b'zeh. They all tied one to the other. So in other words, this is a separate halacha. The first is speaking about halacha of shtaris, that there's no concern of the transaction not taking place, whatever, because it's bezdin as mekuyim. In addition, there's no worried about paroyim because none of these can be used to collect anything. Now, a second halacha is that if you find a shtar and that normally you would not return, but there's a siman in it, then you would return it. There's a siman in it. We saw that earlier, Rav Ashi, there's a hole in it, right? Next to a certain letter, right? We return it because that was in a get. Rav Shimon Gamliel echad halayva mishleisha yachsil halayva. Let's say you have a shtar, and the shtar says Harry lent to Ruvain, Sam lent to Ruvain, Levi lent to Ruvain. So who are you going to return it to? Right? You're going to return to Ruvain, right? Ruvain, because obviously must have fell from Ruvain. Shloisha Hilvin, Ruvain lent Sam, Ruvain lent Harry, Ruvain lent Barbara. I have no idea. Then Shloisha Hilvin and Echad Yafs Lamalva, you give it to the Malva. Because again, if the shtar fell, we have a simon that it fell from this individual. Much a shtar ben shtaroisav. If you find a shtar among the shtaros, and you don't know the teva of the shtar, you're going to leave it there. That's the case. Says Rashi, goes down, guys, about 10 lines up. Much a shtar ben shtaroisav, and you do a mativoi. Etzlo, you know what it's doing there. In other words, you're looking through your documents, you go into your vault, you open up your safe deposit box, and in it you have a shtar halva that has nothing to do with you. It says that Harry owes Sam $1,000. That's all. Now you don't know who to return it to. What do? You don't remember, right? Obviously, that person should have been entrusted with this in the first place. And Shema Mixas Prua, part of it was paid off. Or perhaps part of it was paid off and they entrusted you to watch and you forgot. Okay, then the din is Yehimunach. Interesting. We began the Masechta Yehimunach at She'evelio, right? One of the cases there by 200 and 100. 200, 100. 200 was this 100. Okay, anyway. In Yeshimam Sampunis, if there's a shoiver saying that the shtar is paid off, Yasem Hashem pointless, you go ahead and do what's in this point. So in other words, let's say you have a shtar, and the shtar says Sam owes Harry $1,000, and then you have a receipt that he paid up. So you don't say that the receipt was written and the halva is still in place. We'll say that now, even though the receipt should be in the rishus of the loiva, right? Maybe he forgot it and he left it by him. But the fact that it coincides with the shtar of the malva, and the receipt is there, we'll say it's paid off. We'll say it's paid off. Okay, now the Mishnah had said Igeres Shum, Igeres Mazlain, and then it said Shtar Birurin. We knew what everything was over there. Now it's what Shtar Birurin, my story Birurin. Hacha Tirgmu here in Bavel, they were targim Shtori Tainasa. That this litigant says this thing, this one says this thing, and Besson would write it down. Says the Shit Mikubes, that's in order that in the future they shouldn't change. You write in each Taina. So Shtar Birurin is the Taina. Rabbi Yehuda says that this is a parak in Masechta Sanhedrin, fellas, and discusses that each one would pick their own dayan, right? This one would pick one, this one would pick the other, and then they pick the third guy. They would both agree, right? And in Stammers you have 3 dayanim, dinim mominus, and that's a shtar birurin. So again, it's a shtar of bezdin. It's not shaykh to piroyin, right? And since it's mekuyim, all these shtaris, therefore you can return it. There's nothing to worry about. Okay, so two days. Shtar birurin is shtar taina or shtar birurin. Chaf amid aleph Yehuda, 4 lines from the bottom. The chol ma'aseh bezdin harizeh yachzer. Any ma'aseh bezdin you return. Again, ma'aseh bezdin this has been quoted a few times in the previous, that anything I went through bezdin is mekuyim. As long as you don't have to worry about piroyin, you're okay. Good. So now we had this ma'aseh earlier. Who gita? There was this get the ishtakich beidina de Rav Huna that was found in the bezdin Rav Huna. It was found in the bezdin Rav Huna, and we said that the shtar it was mekuyim, right? And the shliach tain is that what it fell from him. So he says that it wasn't given yet. The get wasn't given yet. So the shliach was shliach leilacha. He had a get that was in bezdin, and he found it. So anytime something is lost, there's always a reisa. There's always you have to worry. Why is it there, right? So what's the din? So it was written in there Shviri Masa in the city of Shviri, the Al Rachis Nahara by the river Rachis. Amar Rav Huna said Amid Beis, Kashina l'shtei Shviri, Yechayis to Shviri, even though what the Shviri that we knew there was no 2 people by the same names. Yechayis for another Shviri, and maybe there's another person by that names, and therefore you don't give it back. And we say, and it was written there, and from another shliach it fell. So you're not going to return it to the shliach, because maybe the get wasn't for this woman, maybe it was for another woman, and we know a get has to be lishma. Okay. Amalei Rav Chisda told Rav Huna, so that was Rav Huna's psak, right? That was Rav Huna's psak. So now, Rav Chisda said to Rabbi, not to Rav Huna, he said to Rabbi, Poik ayin, go check it out. The le'urte boy Rav Huna minach. Rav Huna is going to ask you, Rabbi, in the evening what the story is. Nafik dach, when Rabbi did some research, the ashkich ditnan, kol ma'aseh bezdin harizeh yachzer. Now a get is the ma'aseh bezdin, so you should return it. So again, it had a handpick, was authenticated, and you should return it. So Amalei Rav Amram Rabba, hechi poshit mar isura get mimamayna. How could you mar go ahead and be poshit get, which is issa mimamayna from money? So in other words, stamazai ma'aseh bezdin that we've been discussing is, but when what is dinei maminis shtar choiv v'chahena. And you want to be poishit just like you return a shtar chayv ma'aseh bezdin, so do you return a get. Now a get, ostensibly in the surface, is more chomer because they're being mater and eishes ish, as we'll see in Taisus in a second. Amalei, so Rabbi retorted to Rav Amram, Trada. We had this in Baba Kama, guys. You're crazy. You're nuts. Rashi says, you're nuts. Mishamim, you're nuts. So again, ayin shalis shuvis chavis yoyer. Good. Shtori chalitza umiyunan tan. What did I miss to say, guys? What are you returning? What's a star? What's a star chalitza? You're being matar or yivam l'shuk. What's a star miyun? You're being matar and eishes ish katana. So why are you telling me that this din of ma'aseh bezdin is only by mammon? You see clearly, our Mishnah discussed dini arayos isurim. So that's what Rabbi retorted to Rav Amram. Anyway, Paka Arza de Rav, the yeshiva of Rav, the cedar beam in the middle broke. Ma Rav Amram said, Oma mishum lasoy didi, because of me. And Paka Umar Oma mishum lasoy didi, my mazel. The say is mazel. My mazel caused it to break. The other say my mazel caused it to break. Rashi says, Paka Arza de Rav, Nishbara Omid. Why did it break? Shebes Medrash Nishan Olav, the center pillar. Maram mishum lasoy didi Paka. bishul mazali shekina al shagatani. That what? That it was makana that I was insulted. That Rabbi was insulted. Rav Amram was insulted. Al Dvori, that Rav Amram retorted to Rabbi to embarrass me in the base medrash. These one held themselves accountable. Now, just this point over here, we always say mamona me isur lo yamrinon. Here we're saying isur me mamona, right? It's very interesting. Look at Taisus. Isur me mamona, bim tomar. Tvei anu machmir and bim mamona. We're more machmir by mammon than we are by isur. The ha'ein anu holchem b'mammon achar roiv. Right, guys, we know that by mammon you don't go after roiv. Shmuel's memra that we saw in Baba Kamen Amaniach. Ubi sur azlinam basaruba, and by Issa we do go after roiv. So why are you telling me that Issa is more chomer than mammon? You're taking it for dava. So good mammon, ma'aser bezdin, you'll return, but Issa you won't return. That mammon is less chomer. Out the rabbi, I could say the opposite. I could say mammon is more chomer. By mammon you don't go after roiv, and by Issa we do go after roiv. So l'chayra b'yesh leimar. Let me come back and be'eshes ish echmiru. Eshes ish. We're going to go ahead. What the mayim shelim soif leitinasi lechatchila. The afa pisharuva ma'aser. If she's in water and you can't see the end, you don't let her marry. A lot of problems that go down in a plane crash, right? A woman you don't know, alsiguna. So you see so this is a special chumrah. It's not just stam iser. It's this eshes ish. And since this eshes ish will be a little more chumrah. Just going to have to excuse me. Okay, we said matzah b'chafitza beluskama. If you find a star in a chafitza deluskama, then you return it. My chafitza, Amar Rav Chana, chemas ketana. It's a small skin bag. Umay deluskama, Amar Rabba by Shmuel, talika desabe. What is that? Let's see, Rashi, talika desabe. Taska, it's some type of wallet. She has a kanim matzniim bum kli tashmisham. It's some type of container that old people they put in it all their tools. That they shouldn't have to go looking for them because some people are prone to lose things when they get older. So therefore, if you have one container where you keep everything, then
important stuff.
Yes.
You can only lose one thing, the container.
Where do they put that container?
Okay. Anyway. You're saying good though, finally. Anyway, Taka shel shtaris, Ayaguda shel shtaris.
These all because of simon.
Yeah. See the simanim, right? Now, but what the siman is the siman the actual Taisa speaks out. The siman is in the task itself. In other words, not pshat. I found a kli. I found a star in a container. You give a siman in the container itself. That's the Taisa learns. It's giving a siman in the container itself. Again, simonim is a big chiddush, guys. I'm going to speak this out in Metzia. Simonim is a chiddush. You need Aiden to return. The Gemara has a shayla, but simonim the rice of the rabbanon. Again, you learn Eilim Metzia, so the first thing you remember, simon. I have a simon, right? It's not so pasha to return with a simon. It's a whole big machlekes. Anyway, what's the difference between agudois and tachrichin, right? The mashma that you would return it. Kamahu tachrich shel shtaris shleisha. What is that? Kruchin zeh bezeh. They're rolled up one and the other. The kamihi aguda shel shtaris shleisha shurim zeh bezeh. They're tied, but they're not. They're one on top of the other. Shmamina kesha siminhu. The havamina, guys, is the simin is the knot. The havamina is the simin is the knot, which is a shaila in the next parak. Says and so it's a shaila. So over here it's mashma. It's not a shaila. Says the Gemara Hatani Rab Chia shleisha kruchin zeh bezeh. The simin is the three kruchen zebezeh. Yihachi hainu tachrich. If that's the case, it's the same as tachrich. Says the tachrich kol chad v'chad b'roisha dechavre. Aguda deromi adodi v'kruchos. In other words, I could do the following, guys. Yeah, I have three shtaris, so I can go ahead and each one, one would touch the tip of the other, and you'll roll it up. Bottom one, top of the other, or I'll have three all on top of each other, and I'll roll it up. That's the difference. Okay, so that they're going to be rolled up either way. The question is you're rolling the length or one on top of the other. Okay. My machriz, what do you call out? Minyan, right? What?
Use the word market.
Again, there's a simon, right?
No, but I'm saying.
Oh, I mean, okay, question. You found something. You found something. What are you doing?
No, but I'm saying the Mishnah.
No, again, we're explaining the lashon of a Metzia, right? Obviously, if Metzia, somebody wants to return it, so automatically there's hachrasa. Hachrasa means to call out.
I know, but I'm saying the Mishnah doesn't.
So what's the case? So according to you, what's the case in the Mishnah? If you find it in the Gluskama, if you find it there, then what? How does the person know that how do you
It
as a,
says, hurry, Yahtzee, you return it.
to the
What
person
Mishnah
to the
says,
per
Call out.
to- double pasha?
Okay.
If it's a mitzia, it's a double pasha. If a person goes ahead and gives you the simanim, you're obviously going to go ahead and return it. So it's a double pasha speaking with his akrasa, or else how do you find it? Okay, my machriz minion. So my area tilsa afilu tarinami. Then even two, if it's a number, two. Elikidam ravina. Havoi machriz. Your machriz coins without mentioning a number. Achnami shtori machriz. You mentioned shtori without mentioning a number. And look at Rashi. Rashi, my machriz heshi hamoitzi my machriz. The one who finds it. What are your machriz? It's again, it's take for granted heshi. Maybe Rashi's bothered by your question, but certainly if it's a mitzvah, there has to be hachraza heshi. Minyan is gimel shtaris v'zebov v'noisin simin shekruchim hayu yachad, and this one would come and bring a simin that they were tied together. So if that's the case, I feel a treinami hayel vein tzarich lebailim lase simin elokri chasan. Then you're right. Just give the number, and then kedom ravina shtari machris shtaris matzasi. I found shtaris. It says tzarich elohim. He has to say two things: kach v'kach haya. That was the amount. Ukruchim hayu, and they were all tied up. In other words, I'll tell you how exactly it's tied up. Hilkach dafka tilsa. Aval trei midi yoda demiyat shtaris shtayim. The guy's saying, I found shtaris. What shtaris? It's a plural. What's the minimum? Sloyim dinrim we had, right? It's two. It's a mela, very geshmak. You're calling out a number, and you're calling out then the way exactly it's wrapped up. If you find that the common person was the borrower, the person who borrowed, you return it to them. If you can say it's the malva, my boy Gabi Adodi. How's it possible that they're all together? Maybe the loiva was going to Mekayim them. Says them Mekayim. They were Mekayim. Maybe what? Maybe the three guys were maybe the three guys had them, and they were going to Mekuyim. Says the more they were Mekuyim. Dilma made the Safra Nuffle. Maybe the Miyada the Safra Nuffle. Maybe it fell from the hands of the. Why are you returning to the loiva? That's the question. Maybe it fell from the hands of the slafer. Says go like Mashi Inchi Kiyuma Biyadi the Safra. No person's keeping a shtai kiyum in the hands of the slafer. He's going to take care of it. Shloisha Shalavu Me'acha Yachzel Malva. But you have now the Malva, the 3-7 people who borrowed from the Malva, and you return it to the Malva. These talk about the love in my boy Gabi Adadi. Why are you all doing the same thing? Same question. Maybe they felt maybe he was going to have them written. Says the Gemara Betilsa Yadi Safi. But the question is, maybe it fell from the cipher and the loan never took place. Guys, maybe this Malva, you're returning to the Malva, right? This Malva he lent 3 people. He lent 3 people, and he's going to have it written up, the shtaris, to lend them, but he never lent them the money yet. And maybe the shtaris fell from the cipher. So how do you know that it's giving it back to the Malva? It says the more you have 3 separate handwritings, so you know it couldn't have fell from the cipher. But Dilma the Kiyuma Asli, maybe he was going to have Mekayim then, but the loan didn't take place yet. So Milva Mekayim Shtari, Leiva Mekayim Shtari. It's the Milva who's Mekayim Shtari, it's not the Leiva Mekayim Shtari. Therefore, obviously from the Milva. In Yeshi Mohem Sampunis, Yasim Sampunis, we said if there's a receipt in there, then you can do whatever the receipt says. Okay, this is the end of the sugya to the end of the parak. Okay, what's the din? Guy finds shtaros. He finds a star that says somebody owns somebody money, and among that star, you're not sure whether the loan took place or if the loan did take place and it was paid up. If you find the receipt with that, it's paid up. If you find the receipt that it's paid up. Now, why would a malva have a receipt if it wasn't paid up? Why in the world would a person who's lending money have a receipt if it wasn't paid up? So the answer is that you want to facilitate the loan. You're a tzaddik. Im kesef talves ami. What does it mean? Not if, but when. When you lend money, you say, he wants to lend money. So what? In order to lend, that's if he's altruistic. Some people want to lend money because they are not so altruistic. But the bottom line is the loan will take place with ease because look, I have a receipt already for you. It's there. I got, he'll write the receipt to make sure that the loan takes place. So therefore, with that in mind, Amar Rabbi Yomi Barabba, Amar Rab, Sampuna Yoitzi Mitachas Yidei Malva, a receipt that comes out from the hands of the Malva, Afa Pisha Kosav B'Ksav Yadoi, even though it's written in his Ksav Yad, Einu Ela Kimisachik. It's a joke, upasul, and it's not good. Even though it's written with his handwriting, the receipt, it's a joke. If it's in his rishus, it's a joke. Again, who should have the receipt? The lawyer should have a receipt, paid in full, right? And the fact that it's in the hands of the store owner, the malva, the person who makes the sale, that's enough of a rayas to say that you didn't pay up. Loimi boy kosav ksav yad sefer the iklamema safre esrami lei v'kosav. You don't need to tell me that what. Even it's in the hands of the cipher, that he managed to find a cipher, a scribe. And he said, this is a good idea. It's a good chance for me to go ahead and have a receipt written to facilitate a loan, right? So he'll have it written over there that Elafilu Kosam Ksav Yadoi, that the Svar to say that what? He wrote it himself, nonetheless possible. Sava Dilma Misrami, Vyasa Ben Ashmashis, Rukaparali, right? Maybe it'll happen Ben Ashmashis and he'll pay up. In other words, I didn't say right pshat, guys. It's not to facilitate a loan. It's to have say repayment of the loan. Let me just repayment. Not that the loan shouldn't take place. It was not a good hesper. Let's go back. Okay, anyway. He will pay back if he, it's guy wants to be paid. Goes to you and he says, here's your money. And you say, what? Great. Goes, where's my receipt? Goes, I don't have one. So what's he going to do? I'll pay you the money when I have the receipt. So it behooves the malva to have a receipt ready in order to go ahead and so therefore that's much better now, right? So therefore, if he finds a cipher, okay, not even if he finds a cipher, which you think that he really wants to be ready because he doesn't know if a cipher is going to be available when the guy comes to pay the loan up. But even this case where it's written and there's a strong svara to say that what he has it ready. Still, we say what it's a joke. We still say the fact that it's in his rishus is enough of what of a reyesa in the malva of the loiva they didn't pay up the loan. They didn't pay up the loan. Elafilu kosim ksav yodai pasal sava dilma misrami v'asa ben ashmashis v'kaparali the loya hivnalei. If I don't give him the receipt, loyav lezuze, he's not going to give me the money. Let me write it now. The when he'll go ahead and he'll give me the money. I'll give it to him. Okay, that's Rav Yirmiyah's din. So says Rav Yirmiyah, guys, if the malva has a shiver in his hand, it's not a receipt. Now we're going to question him till the end of the parak. Okay, so once Rav Yirmiyah Barabba, what's his din? If it's in the hands of the malva, because where should the receipt be? The loiva, the one who paid up the loan, it should be there, right? So therefore, Tanan. Our Mishnah says, if he has with it some poinus receipts, yaseh mashabev sinus, right? So what does that mean? It's paid up. So what do you see? That even though it's in the hands of the malva, it's still a good shvat. This is a Mishnah. Even in the hands of the malva, will say it's a good shiver. It's a good receipt. Kasha Rav Yirmiyah, who says in the hands of the malva, it's not. As Rav Safra is going to answer up, you found it among stars that are ripped up. If a star is ripped up, what is it saying, guys? You paid. So if you found a receipt among them, it must be paid up. Okay, that's the difference. So in other words, says Rav Yirmiyah, when did I say my din? When it's just found stamazai, but it's found among right on that you have other stars that are ripped up, then that's what the Mishnah is speaking about. Geschmack. Toshma, nimtza le'echad ben shtaroisav. A guy finds among himself a star that says Shal Yosef ben Shemin Perua, shtarois shnei Peruyan. The case is you have two shtarois. You have two people with the same name, and there's only one star with the halva. Each one time is what? It's my star. So now. Nimsa le'echa ben shtarosav, shtaros Yosef ben Shemin Perua, Shtorish and Peruvian, they're both paid up. So you see the bottom line is you see what that if you find the shaver, it's kid Amar of Safra Shinim Seben Shtoris Korean Achnami Shinim Seben Shtoris Korean. Bashma. So you have Yisayim collecting from Yisayim, and there's a mission in Memhei in Shuas. Shvur Shaloi Pagdano Abba. I was sure that my father did not, by his deathbed, did not go ahead and say that he'd been paid. Shaloi Omulanu Abba. He never said to us he's been paid. Shaloi Matsanu Ben Shloisav Shal Abba. Right? Shtar is Perua. We didn't find among them that the shtar was Perua. What happens if you did find the shtar shaver? It would be good, correct? What's the kasha? You see that among the loiva, the shtar would be good. Same kasha. And for the Gemara, Amrav Safra Shinim Seven Shtaros Korean. This is where he said it, guys. See, he said it over here, and we applied it the other places. Just like he said it over here, so too he said it over there. So in other words, you have the same Eichacha, the same Gemara, the same Eichacha that it's speaking about. You found it among ripped up shtaros, as far as to say that it's paid up. Pashma. Sampin sheyesh alav edim yiskayim b'chaysama. A shaver, even it's in the hands of the malva, go ahead, authenticate it, and then it's a very good shaver that it was paid up. Kasha on Rav Yirmiyah. After the Gemara, ema yiskayim meichasamav. Don't say be makayim it from and it will be a good. Go ahead and be makayim through the edim. It itself is really not good, like I said. But you want to know if it's paid up or not, go ask the edim, right? The shalin and lulisade eat perua le perua. So the shaver itself is not good. Yiskayim meicha myself. Be miskayim it from the signers. Go ahead and ask what? The edim, whether it's paid up or not. So far, Rav Yirmiyah has held serve. Toshma, sampam sheyesh lav edim kasha. You see what? Meaning it's paid up. It's a good shaver. Says the kasha of Yirmiyah. No, my edim edekiyim. In other words, you makayim it. So once you makayim it, there's no question. Everyone agrees by edekiyim. Everyone, even Rav Yirmiyah will agree by edekiyim that the handpick was written in Bezdin that it's paid up. Achnam mistabra that was edekiyim mediktani seifa ushe'enol of edim pasal. The shaver does not have edim pasal. My enol of edim. Ilay midleka alav edim klal. If you can tell me there's no edim on it at all, tzrichel maybe the pasal. You didn't tell me. Of course it's pasal. El lav edekiyim. El must be that you don't have edekiyim. So you don't have edekiyim. It's pasal, which is my din. And Bashenk and edekiyim, he would agree. Gufa, going back over okay, we finished the attack on Rav Yirmiyah. Now we're going to analyze something that we said previously. Gufa, sampum sheyesh lav ede yiskayim b'chaysamav. A sampum that is edim, go ahead and be mekayim it through the edim. Enol of edim. If you don't have edim, v'yoytzim mitachas yedei shlish. Now you have a third party has the shayva, right? The loiva doesn't have it, the malva doesn't have it, but the third party has it. Or after the star, it's written in the star, kasha. Then it's a kasha. If it's in the hand of the shlish, obviously the malva trusts the shlish that they'll say if it's paid up or not. If not, what that was paid up, they went to go ahead and move the star. Tomorrow we're going to begin Metzia. We'll bring you all